What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers are currently sitting as the 4 seed in the Western Conference. They're tied with the Houston Rockets for the 3rd seed. Wish that the Rockets would have lost today. That would have been awesome. Lakers would have been the 3 seed. But nonetheless, right? Lakers are in the mix of it. And I said going into the season that I don't believe that the Lakers are a bona fide contender. I think that they have a puncher's chance for sure. You have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? You get the right matchups, you get the right production from some of these guys. All of a sudden you look up, you're in the conference finals, maybe the NBA finals, and look, they have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. No one would be shocked if the Lakers won the NBA championship, but it's not something that I would bet on. It's not something that I'd be like, yeah, Lakers are a top 3 to 5 team in the league. But I think that they are a very good team. I said that I thought that they would win 52 games. I said at worst, they will be, the 4 or 5 seed. And so far, it's very early. All right, let me make that clear. It is very early. So far, the Lakers are on pace and are looking the way that I had hoped they would look early in the season. And as the season progresses, you got to imagine, one, hopefully guys get healthier. We start getting back Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt, some of these guys, and kind of see if that kind of rises the tide for us a little bit. Also, guys will get more comfortable. Guys will start getting more and more rhythm. The system and structure in which we are running, guys are going to get more acclimated to that, right? Dalton Connect, who has just been absolute money the last few games, you're going to see him start to just understand and get the game a little more, right? The sky's the limit for this team, in my opinion, but there are some clear needs. There are some clear holes. There are some clear issues. I mean, we all knew going into the season that, hey, the Lakers need a trade. And even though the Lakers are right now sitting at 9-4, which is great, got to go be 10-4 going into that Orlando game, and then the back half of this month, which gets really tough. Gotta kind of use this momentum. But nothing's changed, in my opinion, right? Lakers still clearly need a trade. Lakers clearly still need some upgrades in some key areas. But what I want to talk about, of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so let me know down in the comments below. But what I want to talk about is, how far are the Lakers, right? Do we need a roster rehaul and trade everybody but Dalton Connect, LeBron, and AD? Or do we just need a couple key pieces? So to me, one, I don't think you can underestimate the value of 1 or 2 key acquisitions, right? You get 1 or 2 high-end kind of role guys that really not only are just good and upgrades, but also fit needs. That could do wonders for the Lakers. Because also I've talked about pecking order goes down, right? Using Zach LaVine as an example. Austin Reeves as your 3rd option, he's just not consistent enough on a nightly basis. But him as your 4th option might be the best 4th option in the entire NBA, right? And the nights where he's on and he's cooking and he's money, you're not losing those games. And the games where he's kind of okay and good, you're probably winning most, if not all, those games. The games that he's bad, you still have a chance with a guy like a Zach LaVine who could go get you, 30 to 50 on any given night, right? You still have a chance to go win those games. And so, again, I think it drops and slots the type of roster that we have right now. Again, Connect is the 5th or 6th best guy, and then Reeves is the 4th or 5th best guy, right? And you start kind of going down the pecking order, and that just kind of raises the tide for the Lakers in that regard, which I think could be very impactful. But you look at a team like Dallas last year. Dallas is having their struggles this year too, but specifically last year, they were a team that were looking just like they were the year prior, right? They missed the play-in. It was an absolute disaster, right? And it was Dallas, this team, are they going to miss the play-in again? Are they even a playoff team? No way they're winning a championship. And then they went and got a guy in Daniel Gafford and another guy in P.J. Washington, and then guys like Derrick Jones Jr. really kind of started to come into their own, and they just hit their stride at the right time, and then on the back of their defense, really, they ended up being in the NBA Finals, and ended up getting ran through in the NBA Finals, but they still made it, right? Still went farther than everyone else in the Western Conference, and ran into a juggernaut last year that was the Boston Celtics, right? So, again, can't underestimate the value of a quality piece or two. We even saw it with the Lakers a few years ago, right? Like, that was more of a roster rehaul, but a lot of those guys, like Mo Bamba was, injured the entire time. Malik Beasley was completely irrelevant and was pointless. Like, it really was like Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, and then the emergence of Austin Reeves stuff. And the next thing you know, you look up, Rui Hachimura as well, right? You look up, and then all of a sudden you're in the conference finals. So again, you get, and if you can hit on a key couple acquisitions, I do think the Lakers should be right there. I think the Lakers, if they want to really be like top 3 to 5 team in the NBA, I think they need at least 2 kind of higher end guys, right? 2, potential all-star level guys, right? Not saying that they have to be all-star, but guys that, can give you that 25-5 production, something like that, right? Like a Jeremy Grant, for example. I think Jeremy Grant is a guy that, give you 20 a night, go grab 5 rebounds, go get you 5 assists, play some defense, right? A higher-end caliber guy, right? Cam Johnson, right? A guy, again, go get you 25 and 5, right? If you can get kind of these higher-end tier guys, right, where they're not quite an all-star, but again, like they can give you the production and be that on any given night, right? Jeremy Grant on any given night, go get you 30, still, dish out a couple assists, grab a couple boards, right? Like things like that where you get those like really high-end impact guys. If you can get like a Jeremy Grant and like a Bruce Brown or, a Cam Johnson and a Bruce Brown, like stuff like that, I think the Lakers are now in that conversation. Now, if you could get, say, 3 guys, right? Like if you could get Bruce Brown, Cam Johnson, and Walker Kessler, then yes, I think now I think you're a championship contender, right? Or if you can get, the reason I like a guy like a Zach LaVine is because I do think he has the highest ceiling raise, right? He is and was an all-star player. He is the offensive productive all-star level guy. And he is a guy that would slot in and fit perfectly on the Lakers. Him plus a kind of lower end guy, an IO, right? And then if you can get a Kessler or you can get a Nick Richards or something like that, right? Now, I think you're a contender, right? I think the Lakers are there. I think the Lakers aren't so far removed because you look at it like this. You have obviously LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Those are your 2 main guys. But then you have Austin Reeves that, again, like I said, as like your 4th option, right, I think can get you pretty far, right? Again, he might arguably be the best 4th option in the league. And then you add in, Dalton Connect. If he can continue to kind of come into his own, he still has a lot of work to do, particularly on the defensive side. He's far from a finished product. He's a rookie. It's okay. But you essentially have those 4 guys because you're sending out likely D'Lo and Rui and things like that. But those are the 4 guys that you're keeping, right? Christian Wood. Can Christian Wood, whenever he gets back, which is looking more like January or February, but it's probably when the Lakers make a trade anyway. But if Christian Wood can kind of get back, get into the stride of things, I'm not saying he has to be, 20 and 10, right? But if he can even just be like, consistently a 12 and 6 guy, right? Like now you basically have the 5 guys that are your key role guys, and now you're just trying to get those guys to slot in behind LeBron and AD, right? So again, a Jeremy Grant, and then that drops Reeves down. Okay, well we got a Jeremy Grant and we got a Cam Johnson, right? Okay, well then now that really slots Reeves down, right? Or if you got a Bruce Brown, right? It's like, okay, well that fits a need, right? Like depending on how the Lakers approach this, and this is why I've talked about the Lakers have to remain patient, right? The Lakers, I don't think a Jeremy Grant or a Cam Johnson or a Bruce Brown or a Valanciunas or a Vucevic or a Walker Kessler, I don't think any of those guys by themselves make the Lakers a contender. I think if you could get one of those guys plus another one of those guys, then yes. Right? I think the Lakers need 2 higher-end pieces. If you were to get, say, like a Walker Kessler and a Colin Sexton, I think that the Lakers would be better, but I don't know if that is so much of a needle mover. It could be, because the Lakers just like desperately need athleticism, and if you could get like a guard in Colin Sexton, who can apply rim pressure. You know, if you get a guy in a Walker Kessler who can kind of fill in the void when Anthony Davis goes to the bench, right? Like, again, don't underestimate the value of a player or two. You know, this is basketball, right? Very few sports can one guy by himself be the difference maker. Basketball is one of those few things outside of, like, you know, the NFL and a top tier quarterback, right? Like, basketball is one of the few sports where a high end guy can change a lot. One guy can be the difference between you know, being a first round exit or in the conference finals or maybe even the NBA finals. But I think if you were to get kind of where, like, Kessler, I like Kessler a lot, right? But I like him more as, like, you know, the backup and then also now in the future, like a future piece, right? I do think he would be incredibly impactful, but I don't think he'll be so impactful that, like, the only move that I see by themselves could maybe move us into that conversation is Zach LaVine. And that's just because he's elite, like elite when it comes to his best attribute, which is scoring the basketball, which, oh, by the way, the Lakers need desperately. They need that consistent go-to guy that can close down the stretch so LeBron kind of take plays off and stuff like that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Again, just kind of conversation. Just wanted to kind of see, because, you know, we're, 12 games in at this point? Or, no, 13 games in, right? And it just kind of feels like, you know, how far are we? How far behind the 8 ball do you think we are from being a real contender? I think at least 2 acquisitions. Got to get to at least mid-tier to high-end guys, and I think the Lakers can be in that conversation. But how do you feel? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it either way down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.